Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Yo, what's up guys? It's Hoops back again with another NBA video, and today we're going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks. And specifically, we're going to be talking about why I think Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis are the best foreign duo of all time in the NBA. Actually, scrap that. I don't think that. I know they're the best foreign duo of all time in the NBA. There's not much competition. I mean, yes, there's questions about both their defensive abilities, and, you know, the health of Kristaps Porzingis has always been a question, but I don't even think we should be questioning that too much, because when they're on the court together and they're rolling offensively, I don't think there's really a team in the NBA that can stop them and defend these guys when they both have it going. They show us that against the Pelicans the other night. They show us that plenty of times in the past. These are just two of the most talented people in the NBA in terms of offensive skill. And we're going to be talking about where I think they can go in the future and why I think they're such a great duo. So first off, let's address the injury concern for Porzingis. Now, yes, I know he's towards ACL, he's towards meniscus, and if he can't be on the court, then, you know, who cares how good he is? It's useless if he can't be on the court. But I think we kind of need to overlook that, because there's plenty of guys that have early injuries that, you know, continue to be a good player. Let's look at Joel Embiid. He had a lot of injury concerns earlier in his career, but, I mean, for the past few years, he hasn't had too much going on with him, and he's been pretty fine. You know, Steph Curry, obviously it's not the same type of injuries, but at the same time, it's still ankle injuries, still lower body injuries. He had plenty of those, and he went on to be one of the best players of all time, and is still going. And my point here is, yes, a player can have early injuries, and it can be scary for their long-term growth, but I don't think we should label them an injury-prone player just because they get a lot of injuries. Now, yes, I know. 7'3", he's extremely tall, lanky, doing all that stuff. Players that are like that and get injured tend to continue getting injured. It's kind of like an opposite emotion continues the emotion. Like, you know, he's just not, that kind of body type, just not built to be that durable. But I think we just need to give Porzingis a few more chances, man. I would like to see him just try and stay healthy, because if he can stay healthy, man, this guy is amazing. He might be the best 7-foot shooter of all time, especially 7'3" shooter of all time. There's not even any competition. So when he's that tall, I mean, defenders can hardly even contest that thing, man, because his arm's just way up here. You can just shoot that hole, and there's not too much they can do about it. The only thing I don't like about his game, you know, he's got the three-point shot. He's got the turnaround jumper. Actually, I think that's kind of his move now, you know. No matter who's on him, he loves to do that little turnaround jumper, which, I mean, it creates space and everything. Sometimes I feel like he could just go straight up, you know, and not have to do the whole turnaround thing. But whatever works for him. The one thing I have with Porzingis is, just say you have, like, Trae Young on you, and you're backing down the post. Some players like that, like even point guards, he seems not really be able to back down the post. I don't know if he just needs to get his leg strength up, and or what it is, but if someone's that tiny, man, you need to be strong enough and physical enough to be able to back them down and bully ball them and just be able to dunk it over them. Like, there's no excuse. You're 7'3". If people were like 6'5" and under, it needs to be barbecue chicken, man. You need to be getting in that paint, getting in there, bully ball all day, every day. Shaq will tell you that all the time. But if we're not just talking about that, he brings so much on the offensive end. I mean, like I said, a 7'3" player. When he has it rolling from shooting like 30 feet out, like if y'all saw the Pelicans game, he wasn't just hitting just catch and shoot threes, which he did plenty of. He hit one or two off the dribble. He hit one from literally mid-logo. It wasn't even like tip of the logo. It was middle of the logo. I mean, this guy has incredible range. Maybe the best range from a 7-footer ever. And he tied the record for most threes by a 7-foot player or taller in a game, which was 8. And he could have actually had more three-pointers that game. But Luka Doncic just ruined his shine, man. Luka Doncic was like, you got 5 threes in the first quarter. You're going off. I'm sorry, man. I got to drop my career high 46 points. And see, that's why I think Kristaps is the key for Luka right there. Because Luka Doncic has proven he is a good enough player to like be just like, all right, give me the ball. I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna do my thing, and he can score with the best of them. He might have his off nights, efficiency-wise and all that sometimes, but he can score with the best of them. But even the best players of all time, if you do that every single game, defenses are obviously gonna create schemes and everything. We even saw last year with Giannis in the playoffs. He can take over every game, but then once he had to play in the playoff series, they're like, oh, okay, man, we're not gonna let you take over every single possession every time. So you need other players that can just go off, not even necessarily to always just carry the team, but to attract defensive attention. Because if Luka Doncic can get someone that is good enough to attract a person to always be on him, and probably a help defender that has that guy in the back of his mind, Luka Doncic can pretty much eliminate like 2 players from the court that would be trying to double and triple him. And it's just good to not have the whole defense hone in on just one single guy, man. And we saw that, like I said, against the Pelicans. Once Porzingis had already dropped like 8 3-pointers, Luka went to work. He was out there hitting step-back threes. He was tearing apart the defense. He even hit a one-legged fadeaway, just like Dirk Nowitzki would have back in the day. It was a great thing to see. An absolute time. I love watching the game. It was very fun. And I'm just sitting there thinking, earlier this season, people were saying that the Knicks might have won that Kristaps Porzingis trade because of Mavericks weren't in the playoffs. And I'm like, man, these people really overreact to things like very, very quickly, because now I'm looking at it and they're like the 9th seed in the Western Conference, and I say give them 2 weeks and they're going to be in the playoff picture. I mean, this Mavericks team is pretty darn good. They're not the best defensive team in the world. There's actually a lot of defensive woes to worry about. I mean, at the moment, let's see, they're 27th in defensive rating. That's absolutely terrible. And we all know almost every NBA team that's ever won a championship is usually at least top 10 in both offensive and defensive rating. But, last year it was like, okay, we're a bad defensive team, but they were the best. They had the best offense of all time last year. Like, literally, offensive rating was the best offense of all time. I'm not saying that. It's literally statistics. Like, they had the best offensive rating ever. But right now, man, they are 9th in offensive rating. Now, that's good. They're top 10. Cool. I like it. But the only problem I have with that is how do you go from the best offensive rating of all time to being 9th? It's kind of something like that is a big drop off. And I think some of it has to do with, all right, we brought in Josh Richardson. He's not as great of a shooter as Steph Curry was. He's a good shooter, but he's not the shooter he was. Plus, the chemistry has to be developed. Plus, Porzingis wasn't here to start the season. So, it's a lot of factors. So, I think by the time the season ends, they should be top 5 offensively. But they still need to address those offensive woes. But that's the only problem I see with this team. Because Josh Richardson, he's a decent NBA defender. So, if you're looking at it, it's like, of course they could improve with the Tim Hardaway defense, of course. But at the same time, 2 of their starters are just not good defenders in Luka Doncic and Porzingis. And they're just going to need to internally improve on the defensive end, in my opinion. Because I'm going to bring back the Pelicans game again. I saw plenty of times where Porzingis just pretty much let Zion walk into the paint, dunk on him. He didn't have too much defensive energy out there. There was one play where he was guarding him one-on-one from like 15 feet out, and he wasn't even in a defensive stance. He was literally standing up like a plank. Like, man, you need to get down there. You need to be ready to move those feet. Just be quick with it, man. You can't just stand there and just expect him just to stay in front of you. No, he's gonna go right around your tall self, man. He ain't playing. So you just gotta work on that in the gym, man. We know you can shoot. You're a great offensive player. Keep that there. Keep being great at that. But we need the defense better. Luka Doncic, he's obviously not the best defensive player. He is beat a lot on defense, and he's not the most athletic player. So, in my opinion, he needs to kind of work on defense, kind of like how Curry does. He doesn't have to be a great one-on-one defender, but he needs to be a really exceptional, if not amazing, help defender. And like, as soon as he sees someone getting beat by one of his other teammates, he needs to be there, collapsing and getting on that guy, and not allowing him a straight line drive to the rim, in my opinion. If they can both get just a little bit better at defense, that will fast track this team to greatness a lot quicker. But man, Dirk Nowitzki must be so proud. I know when Porzingis came into the league, you know, I think that Porzingis even had a workout with Dirk early in his career, and he said that, you know, I think he looked up to him or whatever. And now he is on the Dallas Mavericks, and I mean, I know it's just like, okay, it's a foreign player that can shoot, but I don't know, he just reminds me of like the new age Dirk so much. Like, of course, he doesn't do the same exact stuff, but he still does a lot of fadeaways, he still shoots a lot of threes, and I just feel like Porzingis is literally what Dirk Nowitzki would have been if he was like playing in 2021, you know, like as a young player. Besides the fact that he would just have the one-legged fadeaways. Besides that, Dirk, he's literally like Dirk. You know, he stay healthy, and obviously he doesn't have the greatness that Dirk once had, but he has the potential to be that damn great. Or who knows, man? Whether the Mavericks turn to a dynasty and he becomes greater. I don't want to just start talking stuff out of thin air, but who knows? Porzingis is pretty young. Luka Doncic, he has the potential to be multiple-time MVPs. We have to see what happens, man. Now, real quick, one last thing. I will say Luka Doncic has been fairly inefficient this season, for his standards at least, especially from three, and that's one of my big concerns. It's like, yeah, you can score, you know, all you want, but it's just inefficient. It's not going to be as great. And I think he's got the 2-pointers down pat. You know, there's been, like I said, Porzingis missing new players coming in. There's some chemistry needed to be built there, and that probably affected his field goal percentage at the moment. But the 3-pointers is what he really needs to work on, because it's a 3-point shooting league at the end of the day. And if you are not a great 3-point shooter, it's going to affect your ability to be one of the best players in the league. Look at Giannis. He's a back-to-back MVP, and while he's still a top 10 player, if he could shoot threes at like a 38% clip, he might be the damn best player in the league, you know? But instead, people usually rank him somewhere between like 4 and 8 or something like that, you know? So, Porzingis, not Porzingis, Luka Doncic, he does hit some clutch threes. He can hit step-back threes. He can hit off-balance threes. But I think he needs to balance that by shooting some more, you know, like catch-and-shoot ones. You just work on that, work on getting the easy ones down, and then you can, you know, keep on doing what you do with the step-back threes and all that. And y'all be Gucci, man. Anyways, that's all I got time for y'all today. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Right down there, man. Just make it blue. I love blue like buttons, so go ahead and do that. Also, if your subscribe button is not grayed out yet and it's still red, you still have an opportunity to click it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at you right now. All you gotta do is, you know, go over there, click it. It'll turn gray. You be subscribed. You be seeing all the great NBA content that comes through this channel. All right, man. That's like I said, all I got time for today. Hope you have a great day. Have a great Valentine's Day, man. I didn't really have a great one because I don't really have anybody, but I had a great time making this video. I'm gonna go watch some NBA, not content, but NBA videos. Okay, see y'all later, man. I'm out.